Welcome back to Drunk Commentary, and I'm your host with a very smooth voice. I don't know if this is going to sound good in the recording at all, but we're going to try it out. Mostly because I've been drinking really good scotch, and that's just the kind of effect that it has on me. So welcome fans and not fans to Drunk Commentary, and we're going to pick up where we left off on Episode 5, Valhalla. Definitely a word that people didn't know as well before the MCU became popular. Valhalla, though, is quite famously the afterlife for people in the Norse mythology. And just assuming that, this episode probably has to do with Klaus, which I'm really excited for, because he's still probably my favorite character. Actually, I think he's definitely my favorite character now. I feel like Diego is just losing ranks because he's not doing anything interesting. And five is impressive, but he's basically staying where he is on the leaderboard. So I think I'm ranking Klaus as my favorite character right now. So hopefully it's going to be one about him and something cool. Apart from that, I don't really have any predictions for what this episode is going to entail. So without further ado, gentle folks and gentle peeps watching along, this is episode 5, Valhalla. And thanks for watching Drunk Commentary on Constant Review. This season is really committed to make me fall in love with Pogo if I wasn't already in love with Pogo. I did not expect to care about Pogo at all. The scene is adding so much depth to the... Aww. I do really like Allison's character, because she's like the only useful one in the group. Luther and Diego are too headstrong, and they kind of ruin everything. Klaus is really messed up, and 5 won't just tell people what's going on. You know, she looks a lot like the actress who plays Ava in Legends of Tomorrow. It would be really interesting if ends up being the same character. The show is really trying its hardest to make me feel like, oh no, poor her, who just cheated on her husband. This is so interesting. I am very excited. I feel like with Luther unaware of who his father was, this meets his father's character completely. I love how this kid, who appears to be autistic, is so unaware of most things, but he's aware of when Vanya's stressed out. I have no idea what I would do if I just saw a window crack in my room with no logical explanation for it. I would probably just end up Googling whether windows just crack on their own occasionally or something. I love that. Best line in the show. That's so mean. I'm really liking it. It took till episode 5, but we finally have the band back together. And I feel like that was obviously a joke and he's going to tell him in the next scene that Ben's there. But we finally got the 7 back under one roof, and feel like we finally have the show coming along. My God. I was wondering if she just had a lot of cats, but was not expecting her to just stab one. That is not how they usually get messages. Wow, they have a latitude and a longitude. I'm assuming that's the location to this apartment, because otherwise that would be an insane way to try to locate him. I mean, he could just move. I love that. It's usually Vanya. For like all of you. I do like that. Like, we know that one of the five of them are the reason why it's happening. And they seem to... I do think it's really silly that they're trying to blame their father for resulting in the apocalypse, but he can't possibly, because he was always there. You five are the ones that went back in time. It has to be one of those five that are causing it. I mean, five also went back in time, but he showed up only when the apocalypse was already happening, so it can't be him. I mean, that does sound like you from last season, or you from earlier this season, or you from an episode ago before we found out that you talked to your dad and he rejected you. But sure, be mad at five. Ben still hasn't... I mean, Klaus still hasn't told him that Ben's there. That seems so mean. I feel like Diego and Luther are the two leaders of the team, which is why they're like the two most annoying members of the team, because they just end up butting heads all the time, and the rest of the group just wants them to, be useful. I really do feel like Allison should just be team leader, because she's the least friggin' annoying. I'm not even going to comment on what just happened there. That was just a barrel of questions. Moondog eyes at each other. That's pretty accurate. I mean, we're all adopted. Like, I don't get why Vanya's taking that so harshly. Like, clearly they're not all biologically related.
Why does that matter? I'm adopted.
What? Oh my God! Who told you?
6 days.
How did you need 6 days? This sounds amazing.
Absolutely are. This is like my favorite scene so far this season. For some reason, the best parts of this entire show are always the musical parts and the dancing parts. And in general, those are the parts of shows that I usually hate the most. But this show does them all so well, and it really speaks to the relationships between the characters, and that's what I'm really taking out of it. Also, there's some good cinematography in the fact that that scene ended the way it started, where all the characters went back to the same chairs they started off in. And there goes one. I feel like that's it for these guys. I don't think they're going to kill two of them in one episode. That'd be too amazing. I think 5 was insane to even chase around. Well, this fight scene is pretty epic. They kind of teased us to make it look like the fight scene in this episode was going to be with the Swedes again. Does she have a superpower? How's she doing that? Also, why is 5 so convinced on trying to kill her? I do love the fact that this scene is also explaining how she broke out of the asylum, which it looked like they weren't going to explain it, but here it is.
Well done. Feel here, you.
I mean, she said her name pretty loudly. That's the furthest thing I can think of from sneaking up on someone. Besides saying, "Honey, I'm home," when she walked in the door, which would have been weird. Yeah, I feel like Vanya's moving this train along pretty fast. You guys have just, had one night together. Don't read that much into it. It's like, you can't just ask someone to walk in on their marriage after one day. Oh my god, stop just telling random people about the apocalypse. Damn it, Vanya. He's still gonna burn down the house, isn't he? See, like, she should have just. This is my favorite episode of the season so far. I feel like with the brother-sister powwow that just happened, everyone's finally doing the right thing, making progress. Like, all their issues are communication. You guys just need to work on your communication. And, like, Allison could have fixed her problems with her husband if she just, told him what was going on. And I don't know what Klaus's issues were, but it looks like he's past them. And Vanya's still having issues. At least, like, she told the truth to her not-girlfriend. It obviously didn't work out because you can't really talk about running away with someone after you've hooked up with them once. That tends not to work out. Especially in the 1960s, but I wouldn't suggest doing it in 2020 either. But yeah, I also do love that the group's finally together. I feel like the lady from the commission is going to bring some more variables into this mix, so I'm not excited about that. Commission was filled last season. Even the Swedes. And honestly, like, their entire existence is kind of like tangential to the main plot. And I cared about them a little bit during last season because I liked Hazel and Chacha's characters. This season's like, I don't like their characters, and literally the main point they have for the plot is to antagonize the protagonists. So, in fact, shouldn't in this season they be on the protagonist's sides because the protagonists don't want to change history, and their entire job is based on this concept that they stop people from changing history or they preserve the timeline. It's the whole thing. But anyways, that was a great episode. I think that's my favorite one of the season so far. Maybe the pilot I would rank a little bit higher, maybe a little bit lower. I'm not actually sure. But anyways, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys again for episode 6. So see you then. Bye.